We're going live. All right. Morning thoughts, morning thoughts, morning thoughts. Shout out to Seymour. Thank you for being the first one here this morning. I just put up a video like 20 minutes ago. So most people are probably thinking, ain't no morning thoughts this morning. This is what SouFlo is going to give us for the morning. But I was trying to post over there to say morning thoughts will start a little bit late because I have to put this video up first. My typer stopped working. Anyhow, big up to who's here and big up to who will be here. Virtuous Fire, big up yourself. Onika St. John, big up yourself. St. John Jones. Donna Davis is in the building. Guava 876. Wayne Nathan just tuned in. Sharon Spence. Andrea Sherivis is here. Maxine Good as Gold. Sharon Ingram. Brick House. Debbie Jervis is in the building. I say Brick House with a extra emphasis this morning because that's on the list. One of the things we're going to talk about. Brick House. Uh, yeah, if you look at the topic of the video, Brick House, we're going to be talking about certain things and things this morning. Anyhow, let me continue to shout out. Darling Walter Riley is in the building this morning. Thank you for being here. King Biggs, big up yourself. Morning, fam. Debbie Jervis is here. Let me see who else. King Biggs, Julie Tapper, thank you for being here. Julie Tapper, Richard Reed there. Who else is here? Yes, I just finished looking at the update. The update about the British brother that traveled to the UK, to Jamaica, and him brother kill him, and these things. Yeah, y'all could go look at that video later, but it has a wealth of information in it that I think will be helpful for a lot of us, right? A lot of us outside of. Dainty D is in the building this morning. Big up yourself, Dainty D. Thank you for being here. Sean Cassell, good morning. Les Steph is here. BM is in the building this morning. Sarah Cayente is here. Mrs. Michelle Banton is in the building this morning. Vicky Victory is here. Thank you for being here as well. Elaine Brown, Michelle Howell in the building. Hear me. Shout out to the people going out to work this morning. Shout out to the people coming in from work this morning. Extra special big up shout out to the people who work multiple jobs. I have the utmost respect for you. Shout out to my entrepreneurs, my stay-at-home moms and pops, my retirees. Shout out to the drivers, the Uber driver, the Lyft driver, truck driver, taxi driver, food delivery drivers, round town and long distance truck drivers. Shout out to the garbage truck driver, shout out to the train driver, them, shout out to public transportation bus driver, shout out to every single clean-hearted, good-hearted person who wants good for others as much as you want good for yourself. I'm absolutely sure that it's Friday, so I'm gonna say it's the freaking weekend, baby. Clap it up, clap it up, clap it up. I'm feeling good this morning, because I'm about to take a trip for the weekend. I have a funeral to attend. My people are passing away. That's a part of life, which keeps reminding me that I must live my life to the fullest and be bountiful and fruitful and multiply and replenish earth and all these things, the good things. I want all the good things in life, right? Because the people that were raised you, once you start to see them go one after the other, are you next enough? So that's a given. That's a given. You next. Whether it's 10, 20, or 50 years from now, is you next. So anyhow, with that said, here we are this morning, getting ready to take this weekend trip away with the family, attend the funeral, and then try to live some life in between all that. Keep the vibes up and keep the spirit high and these things. Seeing? Nicole Coleman say, yeah, it's another weekend. Give thanks, SouFlo, and everyone tuning in. And Jane Anders says, greetings all, give thanks. So this morning, we are going to be talking about the fourth day of trial, and we are going to give our end of week summation where I think the verdict will be when the trial hits that point. When them get ready to sentence Andre McDonald, which is Beachy Stout's son. For those of y'all who don't know, some of you been busy tuning in late. Lord, SouFlo work have me a wheel. I understand. So we've been covering Beachy Stout, Andre McDonald, Beachy Stout's son. Remember, father in Jamaica. He is incarcerated. He has now been charged with the murder of two of his wives, his first wife and his second wife. His son in the U.S., Andre McDonald, a major in the U.S. Air Force, high-ranking officer, has also been charged with the murder of his wife. And his court case is going on now. Update for his father. According to Jamaica news reports, his father, Beachy Stout, his trial will start in September of this year. His son is on trial right now. We've been watching, we've been taking notes, we've been coming back every day, and we've been given a full rundown of what's been said in court, what has been revealed to us, some shocking information along the way, and where I think, my personal commentary. Somebody just said in a comment section, bro, just give the news as it is and stop put things in there. Hello. First of all, everybody who follows closely knows I always give the news as it is. I tell you where I'm reading it from, and I read it straight to you as it is. This is SouFLoTV. I am SouFLo. So my opinion counts here. That's why the platform is here, for me to give my opinion and for others to say, I don't think so. And, we have a good conversation around that. All right. So someone will wake up and choose violence. I don't do that. I wake up thankful and happy, and I choose love. All right, my brother. So it's called commentary. You get one try. After that, don't know if I tell you. So we're gonna cover that. What's been going on? Jah Cure update, and nurse going viral in her uniform, as well as why Popcaan is not allowed to enter the United States of America. We have to cover that. Because Popcaan, a big international star, and now Poppy is with Miss Universe. She was Miss Jamaica. And then she went on to represent us on a bigger stage. And all the people he's associated with, it's associated with. We're gonna get into the Popcaan stuff. But Popcaan dropped his new album. His new album is out, and he is wondering, why is he not allowed into the United States of America? And we're gonna talk about all that. See? All right. With that said, let's get into our topics. This morning, I'm not gonna save the Beachy Stout something. Not the Beachy Stout something, because I'm father trial. I'm not gonna save the Andre McDonald something for last. I'm going to do it first. All right. Day 4 of the Andre McDonald trial. First of all, let me say this. Watching this trial unfold from Monday till today, well, we haven't watched it yet today, but they'll be on at 10 today. And if you are subscribed to the channel and if you have your notification on, you will see me share the link when it starts, and you can come over and watch the trial live for yourself. Sometimes we'll be like, boy, I like to be a fly on the wall in a courtroom that to hear what was said. Well, this is your opportunity to do so. See? I want to say that I hope that the Jamaican authorities are paying attention and that they are watching how a proper trial is conducted, from judge to lawyers, defense, prosecution. Police officers understand giving detailed accounts backed up by evidence, hard evidence. The way that the evidence is assessed, the way that the evidence is gathered, the way that the evidence is stored, preserved, and presented at trial, all that. I say that because the Klansman Wandan Gang trial, somebody just asked yesterday, SouFLo, what happened to that trial? Like, it was hot for a minute and then boom, it does disappear. I have updates for you coming on that trial. However, people are beating Judge Sykes really badly because they're used to stuff being all willy-nilly, and basically if the crowd says he's guilty outside, then the judge just go with that and something like that. No real evidence, proof, concrete, DNA, metadata from electronic devices, etc., etc. None of that needed. And people are getting sentenced to life in prison with none of that stuff presented. You understand? Popular case, the Vibes Cartel case. So with that, I'm saying, watching this trial, I was in awe of how thoroughly this is put together and presented. And not only that, just the openness of it. The world is watching, all eyes are on it. To be brave enough to put it right on live so that everybody can see it tells you we're not trying to hide nothing here. We're trying to get to the meat of the matter in this matter. Seeing? All right. So, testimony and cross examination starts. This was yesterday morning. It's starting to get boring. There's more verification of evidence. More, yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Could you look at this and tell us if this was the same piece of evidence that you collected on the 19th of so and so 2019? Yes, it is. Is this your signature right here? Yes, it is. So and so. Are you under oath testifying that this piece of evidence is in its exact state as it was when and has not been tampered with? Blah blah blah. Yes, it is. And that's them there. And like I told you before, every single officer that has anything to do with the whole process, from the searching, from the initial onset of being called to go do a wellness check, all the way through to who discovered the body, who was in the search parties that went to search. Shout out to some of those officers and big them up. I heard some of them testify that they worked their regular shift during the day, and then when them done work, they join the search party with the people on their own time, putting in overtime to make sure that her body was found. You understand? And you have to big up people like that for that, because they could work on the clock and then clock out from work and go home, be like, hey, that's work, I'll be back tomorrow, I got my own family, I got my own stuff I got to take care of as well. No, a lot of them work their full hour shift. Some of them work double shift, and then they got off and still went, joined the search parties and the volunteers when they could on their time off, and use their own personal time as well on work days to help to discover where Andreen was located. So for that level of dedication and this level of transparency, I am in awe. I am in awe. Right? State Exhibit 303 to 305 is a hatchet. State Exhibit 303 to 305 was a hatchet, a blue hatchet, a little axe. Something will look like you'd have put meat on the board and chop it up with it, or dismember something with it. Now, y'all must remember when Andre called the sister and said, get your mommy, come on, telling her everything before and hear all this in court. One of the things that he said was he wanted to dismember Andreen, chop up her body, and dispose of it that way. Would have been easier for him to dispose of it. She probably would never have been found, especially if he distributed piece here, piece there, right? But we also know that he was in a panic and he didn't have much time to move around. So he would have never had the time to put piece here, piece there, piece there. He had to dump it quick as possible. Anyhow, the hatchet came into play. We saw a picture of the hatchet. The hatchet was still brand new. The hatchet had not been used. It still had the plastic thing that comes on the sharp side of it. Maybe he was going to dismember her like he said, but changed his mind. Someone asked in the comment section, so he bought all these things and he didn't use them? LOL, laugh out loud. He bought all these things and he didn't use them, like the contractor's garbage bag. Those are huge, black, thick garbage bags that people use to put, if you throw out a microwave, you clean out a whole apartment or a dirty house where your tenants rented your property, mess up your house. Now them gone, you got to go in there and clean out. You have these industrial sized garbage bags that can hold pretty much anything in them, and it's very hard to rip them. So you can fill those up with stuff, all microwave, this, that, and the other, shoes, this, that, stereo system, whatever, old computer, everything go in there, and you can drag them and they won't tear. He bought those. He bought the hatchet. He buy some other stuff, right? The kerosene, not kerosene oil. I truly, Jamaica, I come from, I come from the days when we used to have to put kerosene oil in our lamp. Because my part of Clarendon never get no electricity actually till 1 year before I left Jamaica. And I left Jamaica pretty young, so that I for sure you. Kerosene oil and trim the wick on the, all right. But yeah, The gas cans is what I meant to say. All that. He bought them and he didn't use them. Guess what that does? It bolsters his original story again. I told them I was going to dismember her. It was in my plans. See, I bought all the stuff to do it. That's all it says. I bought all the stuff to do it, but I still didn't do it. Didn't do it because I couldn't do it. I look at the body and I couldn't do it, right? What this is painting, believe it or not, is a picture of remorse. It's like, you see, if I did somebody when me really hate and really chop up that and dash it away, but I couldn't do it, right? All right. Someone said that his attorneys don't even care to look at the evidence because when the evidence is being presented to these officers on the stand, hey, let's go over exhibit 305, 303 to 305, the hatchet. His attorneys are just head down, they're writing. Andre himself is over there writing, or they are engaging each other or looking elsewhere. They're not saying, let me see that too, or anything. Well, let me explain that process to you. There's something that they had before this called the preliminary hearings. And inside of the preliminary hearings is where the judge, defense, prosecution, all sat down together already, and they all went over the evidence already. Again, let's draw back to Jamaica's law now. In the Vybz Kartel case, this is where Vybz Kartel's rights were, his constitutional rights were violated, because whatever is used against you or is supposed to be used against you to convict you or to try to get a conviction on you, that piece of evidence legally is supposed to be shared with your attorney as well. So your attorney, so they can have a fair trial. You can't jump out with no surprise. Aha! No, your defense team needs to look over this as well and say, okay, mount a defense against this. Hey, you know them have a picture of your cell phone, right? Where is that phone? Them not have the phone though. Okay, so we're gonna have to, you know, and then you start working around that part right there. So they already saw all that. They already saw it multiple times. Not only that, they have a copy themselves. So while you're looking at it, they've looked at it multiple times. They've agreed on it multiple times. Lawyer, defense, prosecution, and judge. So now that the officers are in there to verify that this is it. Yep, that's the one. Yep, that's my signature right there. Yep, yep. They don't have to look again. That's what the preliminary hearing was about. Okay? All right. Boy, watching the comment section, I try not to too much, but I do, because some people take the thing like way off course, and I hate seeing people be misled. You know what I'm saying? So I try to like give some people some guidance, healthy information, like, nah, that information that you're saying is wrong. Actually, go check this. And people would do the same for me, and I appreciate it. If I'm off course, put me back on course. I love to be informed. I'm not the kind of person to act like me know everything and I'm me one have all the information. You know, some people get excited when them feel like them one know everything. I'm not that kind of person. I want everybody to know what I know too, kind of thing. See? So this officer testified that 29 years he has been on the force at the sheriff's office. He works in the crime scene investigation for 16 of those 29 years. This is a well-vetted officer, record clear on everything. All went on there, more verification in court under oath. And not only that, under oath is different from them saying outside of court, yeah, that's mine. Under oath. Under oath. You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God. All right, you go up there and put on your hand and lie, then you are now held accountable for whatever it is that was said in that courtroom. And you too can have criminal charges brought against you, and you can face prison time as well, perjury, and all these other things, right? All right. It's crazy watching all these triggered women in the comment section because, you know, they spin the narrative instead of looking at the information that is being revealed inside of the courtroom. They sit there, they don't listen to what's being said, and there's no way they can listen because they're typing fast, and you can see their conversation running between each other like, yes, girl, or yes, so and so, and me glance over and I look and I see the thing gone way off course, and I'm like, I'm still listening, I'm writing, I'm taking my own notes, but I glance over and look, I'm like, what? She was sleeping with his sister and all that. What them I talk about? Keep going. They're triggered. I hope him dead. I hope they lock him up in there, man. Hood him out. I hope him this. I hope him that. I hope he. All right. You never had a relationship with Andre. Y'all need to stop that. Y'all go around, and I understand why. You know, you can relate. Damn, I've been through similar situations. I've been in an abusive relationship. I never do nothing to the boy. The boy beat me up for no reason. Me have to run for my life. I'm triggered. I understand all that, right? I understand all that. It's the same thing for guys when they hear what's been revealed, what Andreen was doing. I mentioned yesterday in the comment section, I said, because them are chat bad all the way. There's no way he can escape the death penalty. He deserves every bit of it. Nothing could justify what he did. She didn't even do anything to him. This man is a psycho. He's crazy. And I said to myself, you really think that this Air Force major of how many years in service just get up one day and just went cuckoo and decided he was going to kill his wife? There are dynamics to this, right? So I put in there, I said, obviously you missed the part where they said that it was confirmed that she was stealing. She was moving assets that they had invested in together. They were equal partners, equal shared owners of. And she was planning a whole life outside of the life they had together as a married couple. You must have missed that whole thing. That's deception. Oh, but he could have left. He could have left because divorce. And she did speak to him about divorce. One person said, he just said he wasn't going to sign the papers. And I said, no. Let me drag you again, your memory. It was in a text message where she was kind of bullying him, actually. See, you don't get to cheat on me and then tell me how to feel about you cheating on me. You're gonna have to deal with how I feel about this. See, especially if I decide to stay. The part where she said something about divorce, she actually said, basically, stop talking about it. I don't want to hear it again. I don't want to hear it anymore. Kiss my teeth, KMT, right? Remember I told y'all how she spoke to him, idiot, and all that. It was in that phone conversation. If I hear it from you one more time, I am going to file those divorce papers myself, is what she said. That shows how manipulative, that is manipulative behavior, whether you like it or not. Please understand, we want justice too, but we're not here to sit and ignore everything that came out in court and act like that never happened and just sit down and follow the emotional path that everybody else is on. Oh God, him could have do the girl, so a people daughter, him for dead, and this and that. We still got to put all the other pieces to the puzzle in place, my friend. That's how we understand how this happened. Why did it go so far? You understand? All right. So that's how we're done with it. But the triggered women in the comment section, they be going off. They be going off. All right. So the crime scene was shown in court, on tape, on video, but at that point, it was not shown to us. It was not shown to the viewers live. Skeleton remains, as the officer was describing it. Those are her skeletal remains. Yes, that right there is a human skeleton, as it was found, was shown in the courtroom. You can't show that on YouTube, first of all, so they weren't going to show it to us anyways. And they did turn the camera away. People wanted to see Andre in the meantime that was being shown because they wanted to see, okay, if you can't show us that, show us him because we want to see his reaction while he is seeing his wife's skeletal remains. People are deep. I wanted to see it too, I must admit, because I want to see if he's like any remorse is there or any kind of, or is it just, oh well, the bitch dead. Yeah. Careless. Let's move on with the process. If it's that kind of don't care, my grandmother used to say don't care kind of feeling, attitude towards it, they didn't show us him either. Reason being, he is situated over there on the side of the courtroom where the device is that was showing it. So if they turn the camera that way to show us him, they would have actually shown us what they shouldn't be showing us in the first place anyways. So, but I'm still thankful that we're able to see the rest of the trial. Now, officer explains how he collected pictures and evidence, and if the crime scene was tampered with, as far as he knows, stuff like that. Trash bag. Oh, they asked him one question. They asked him, when you got out there, did you see, like, because there's a fence line that's made with barbed wire, and her body, how it was found above ground. Shallow grave, but the shallow grave dig out. So it was found above ground. And it was found, pieces of her skeletal remains were found mixed in with cow that had died out there, and the cow skeletal remains had mixed in with her skeletal remains. So you had human remains and animal remains, and they had to suss it out. So they would ask the officers, were you the one that was, dividing, dividing and deciding, is this cow, is this human? He said, no, I'm the one that's taking the pictures and labeling the pictures and whatnot. There was an actual forensic specialist doctor that this is his field, his specialty. He's the one who was doing that. You might look at that as nothing, but a mistake right there could throw the whole case away. Why? Because if anyhow that officer had said, because I know people are saying, why these officers look like they so nervous? This one look like he's being too careful about what he said. They have to. Could you imagine being the officer that went in there and your answer threw the whole case out when your whole department has dedicated themselves to getting a conviction in this case? Wouldn't look too good for you, right? So what his lawyers were trying to figure out at this point is how credible is the forensic evidence? How credible is the skeletal evidence? Is that really her bones, or some of that has human bones mixed with animal bones? Which bones did y'all test? Y'all probably tested a piece of animal bone, a piece of cow bone, and then over here talking about the marrow from this cow bone is Andrine's own, and this and that, right? So they're basically just trying their best to catch somebody in something. If they can switch this thing, turn it in another direction, any little thing they can get to help them at this point will be very helpful for his case. At this point, I think that Andre's lawyers are trying to say that he humanely put her down out there. Remember, I was going to dismember her. They started this morning out with the hatchet. The hatchet was clean. They showed you in court. His lawyer went over it. His lawyer kept saying, can you notice that the hatchet was clean, right? Yes. Was never used, right? Yes. Okay. Like he said, he could have dismembered her, but he didn't. Adds to his story, adds credibility to his narrative of the story. All right. At this point, I think his lawyers are trying to say that he mainly, because they asked the officers, did you see garbage bags? Remember the big industrial garbage bags I told you about? Okay. Did you see garbage bags out there? Because if animals dig it up and got to the body, they must have tore the garbage bags off of the body, right? Wind come blow a plastic would have probably itch up in the barbed wire fence that surround that property. That is why his lawyers were asking, when you got out there to the scene where y'all decided that this is where she's at, did you see any black garbage bag pieces catch up in the fence, in the fencing anywhere around the property? They said no. That means she was not wrapped in no black garbage bag or anything like that. I think she was wrapped in cloth or tarpaulin or something like that. Anyhow, it goes on. Basically, what they're trying to do is to say that even after all that happened, he was remorseful. His way, he was panicking and he was trying to get rid of her, yes, because he never want to go to prison, but he still had a conscience to say, how am I going to dispose of her? And he tried to do it in the most humane way as possible. Wrap her up, put her down out there kind of thing. Well, the elements came, sun, wind, whatever. It was almost 5 months before she was found. Wild animal, sun, wind, rain, that kind of stuff happened to it, and it bared down to skeletal remains out there, decomposition process, right? Yeah, the wild animals might have gotten to her. That's a better scenario than he dismembered her. Andre remains the same throughout this whole thing. I'm watching him every time the camera pans into him. He is just looking. At one point, I said he was taking notes, but for the most part, he's kind of laid back in his chair like this. Him not sit upright, and he's like, none of that. You know, like somebody that's overly concerned. There's a kind of eerie, calm, cool to him throughout this whole situation. I don't know if he has already accepted his fate and he's like, you know what? I know I'm not going to beat this, but, and it is what it is. So let's just go through it. See? Pusey, Gaylor. No one is seeing my. Oh, no. Pussy Galore. Shout out to Pussy Galore for being here yesterday morning. Pussy Galore, you left a comment that said, no one is seeing my comment still, I guess. I did see your comment. I actually write that down right there. So, want to see how much writing me write? I put on this, you know. I actually wrote that down right here. So, yeah, I did see your comment, my dear, but I was, you know, engaged and couldn't get to it and saw it after the fact as well. I appreciate you. I appreciate all of you. All right. And that's about where the Andre McDonald trial is for me. My next paper starts with Andre Sutherland, Popcaan. So let me bring that Andre McDonald stuff to a close like this. So far, his lawyer's original statement, opening statement, my client should not be charged for malice murder. This isn't a first-degree murder case. This isn't malicious intent. This was an accidental death from a mutual fight. That's what he said. So they went on to prove that the person who died was willing to have a mutual fight. They had that personality about them. That's why I said the sister's testimony didn't help. Yeah, I've seen it. She said she's seen it. She's witnessed it before. If she's willing to fight him in front of our family members, then you know what kind of personality is that? It goes to his story. She was getting up all up in my face, hand in my face, and all these things. I walked outside. I tried to walk it off. You know, she was. You know, when some people, when you catch some people doing something wrong, instead of them saying I'm sorry, they get mad at you like you did something wrong, right? That deflection is strong. And then we even want to fight you too. See? So he confronted her about that. That's his story. And it's played out that way so far all week. That's his story. The only dent that's in his story is where the fight took place in the house and where it ended in the house. We had a fight right there in that spot by the steps. He said if you turn and look, you could see the steps and he could see his daughter on the steps, right? Okay. She hit me. I hit her back. She fell, or she was up in my face. I punched her or hit her. Don't remember how, but she fell. I know I stomped her. I used my foot, stomped her. She was wheezing. I took my daughter upstairs to sleep, put her to bed. I fell asleep too. When I came down, she was not breathing. Those pictures, over 600 pictures taken of the scene through the house, does not tell that story, right? Like that. Those pictures tell a story of her move. Cause me sure after them fight, she never get up from that spot, go walk through the house. Oh God, I'm dizzy, and she's oh shit, me I bleed too. And she put her blood everywhere and then went and lay down back right in that spot. You understand? So that part right there is the only part that is off about his account of what took place. Now, he probably is trying to save himself because You know, when you start, like me, if I start to fight, that's why I'm not try fighting now. Because if I start fighting, I want everything in a mash up. I'm not trying to skip over this because it's valuable. Everything in here should mash up. See? So if we are gonna fight, I'm dragging you through all the rooms. I'm moving all furnitures. We're not gonna fight in a one spot and the one spot fight done right. That's all. You understand? That's more realistic. However, it would make him look bad because it would make him look like at some point she was probably okay. Me no want fight you no more, Andre. Stop, please, please, Andre. You know, women. I've seen fight man and woman fight, and at some point, even the brave woman who feel like yo, me can fight a boy, a dirty boy, and she fighting back, fighting back. At some point, when she start get real, real, she is realizing like, oh shit, I'm about to die. He killing me for real. Okay, stop, stop. I'm sorry, but this point you boiling, you bubbling, and you already in fight mode. So fighter keep on a going. Yo, fuck that. You have in a business. What you want to say? And then before you know it, by the time you calm down, you done beat off one side of her head. You done drag her through 3, 4 rooms in the house already. She was trying to get away. You trying to drag her ass back over here. Y'all going room to room. Shit tumbling over and stuff. You understand? That looked more realistic, but him couldn't tell it that way there. So he told something that isn't realistic. Think about it. We start a fight, right, Tessa? The fight done, right, Tessa? You stomp her out, right, Tessa? You come back and found her, right, Tessa? No, make no sense. How the blood and everything reach in the bathroom, in the closet, in the bedroom, on the door at another room. Like there's blood in too many different places to say y'all fought in one place and it ended in one place. That's the only thing about his testimony that hasn't matched up yet. Everything else, right spot on, my friend. Right spot on. And ladies, I know there's no reason and all these things, but I keep on telling you, not everybody is going to take certain things the same way. Oh, what tangled web we weave. Not everybody's going to take things the same way. And it was proven in court. I saw the women in the comment section yesterday asking, I bet he was a cheater. Was he cheating? Did they find proof that he was cheating? Sad shit. They went through all his stuff. The man never have no like a side chick on the side where him did a text and erase. No, you know, cheating man. Cheating man, I got text and erase car. Yeah, you can't have my phone here. And wife go through the phone and she can't find nothing car in my text and erase. Her husband go through the phone, can't find nothing. Cause cheating wife a text and erase thing. They went through his phone, metadata. They couldn't find nothing about him cheating. There is no mention so far of him having an affair on her, messing around on her, anybody he was cheating with, anybody he was involved with. They found info on her as the cheater. Matter of fact, a full blown, emotionally involved, trying to help a man to come to the US, planning a new life, moving our assets over into an LLC account without my name on it, meaning I would not be able to access my investments where you have to take and put over yourself and a plan life with new man. And on top of that, her friend, the lady that she worked out with, said, "Yep, cause them woman they not come life for you under oath, you know." Yeah, well, did Andreen tell you about her extramarital affair about the guy in Jamaica? She said yes, she did. So you were well aware of it. Yes, I was. Um, Sometimes when he went away on, because he's in the military would take you away on missions. You would be gone 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, 120 days. Sometimes you're gone for a year and a half. I've done it. She said those were prime times for Andreen to travel to Jamaica to go see her guy. She was the one that was cheating. And she also said this part now, more manipulation. This part right here. She said she wished that he would have an affair so she can have an excuse to bust out fear issue or her affair that she's having and the fact that she's moving on as well. So it's like, I've seen this before. People in a relationship and them don't want in it because they don't want to be the one that people look at and say, damn, you mash up your family, yo. You mash up your family at chase man. So what that woman would do, they'll prefer it be like, yo, that boy that left him family for a little girl down the road, left him wife and then picking them and everything. See? But a woman, she'll probably be like, I'm not taking that brand. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna force you out. And how she gonna force him out? No sex for you no more. No intimacy for you no more. We're sleeping in different rooms, as a matter of fact. You can't touch me. You can't even see me naked. But we're still married, though. And we still live in the same house, though. We can't have no conversation that comes to problem, conversation, solution. Mm-mm. Problem, argument. More argument. My way. Disagree. Right, true. Matter of fact, I don't even want to hear it anymore. You keep on bringing it up. I don't even want to hear it anymore. If you do it again or I hear it again, I'm going to file those divorce papers myself. You understand? Well, I'm not going to talk to you in a way that disrespects you or make you feel like, belittle you or anything. I'm just going to protect myself because I see that you don't have my best interest at heart. That is so friggin', that's like low. I would even go and say that is so simpish, even. You know? Now, I'm not trying to sit up here and paint this lady with a dirty brush because she is not here to tell her side of the story. But I've said it before, I'll say it again. They both were toxic. Somebody who is not toxic and who is self-loving and knows their worth, they would never stay with a toxic person. No foul, no, I go hold that. At some point in your life, you were toxic as hell too. That's why you were with somebody who was toxic. They might have been way more toxic than you were, but some part of you welcomed that energy. Some part of you entertained that energy. And that's why the relationship was able to last so long. You understand? Let's take a phone call real quick, because we don't know who calling. Live on the air with SouFLo. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you doing this morning?
I'm doing well.
Talk to us now. We're live, and time is of the
Well,
essence.
I'm always advocating for women, nonviolence, femicide, burnout femicide.
Right.
And
Absolutely.
I cringe a little bit when I hear they kind of blame the victim.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes you just have to say this. You see, from way back when you've been reporting on this lady about her successes and her this and her that,
Right.
and the father in Jamaica having his long bag.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like to interpret things, but you have the mindset of a lot of women that
Mm.
want to come up, whether it's illegal or legal.
Mm.
They want to come up on other people's stuff,
Mm.
and you pay to play. You pay to play because that man was in the military at a major level. I'm not defending him by no means.
Right.
Major level. Y'all got good credit.
Yeah. You have to. They
A
make you
lot
have
could be
that.
leveraged. A lot could be leveraged to create the assisted living place
Start a
and the
business, own
next
a
place
house, all
and the
that.
next place.
Yeah.
And when a man ends up seeing evidence that you maybe used to once love him, but you trying to give his things to somebody else, heads chip over a little bit,
Yeah. And that's
but
the
that was a lot.
yes. And that's the part that a lot of women are like blowing over, like, okay, so what? And I'm trying to tell them, like, from a man's
No.
perspective, you can't just, okay, so what, that part.
No. And some men just hear you there with somebody and lose it.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
can't play with fire.
Absolutely.
It's
Absolutely.
going to cost you. It's going to cost you. And it could cost you your life.
Absolutely. As in
It
this
could
case.
cost you your life. And, you know, that's the other side that I ain't going to say we women, because I grind for mine. Always, my whole life. I remember way back when I went to Jamaica to visit, a long time ago, I went to this party.
Mm-hmm.
It's always so far back when Murder She Wrote was just being a video and it was done in St. Anne's. I went to a party and I liked this guy at the party, and the guy bought me 2 cola champagne the night and wanted to dance with me all night. And I took a dance with somebody else. The man losing mind.
Because he'll buy you the 2 drinks, right?
Because
and you dance with somebody else.
SouFLo, from them the times there.
Yeah.
No, I'm good. I'm good. I want don't buy me nothing.
And I'll tell you something, that's a big marker too. And even to today, if you ask any man that, I'm not buying no girl no drinks in a dance, but you go take me drinks and go wind up on next man. That make you look like a clown as a man. Some women might not see it that way.
I'm a house music dancer. I was dancing fast. I wasn't even whining with nobody. The man was like done.
Yeah, the fact that you take him drinks and it's not him getting the wine up or the dance.
And I'm not stereotyping Jamaican men. There's just some things you don't do.
Right. And like BM is saying in the comment section, though, this particular case, it was not about the other man, though. It was more about the stealing. But I want BM to know that it was a combination of all things. I'm going to wrap it in for everybody in a second. You can wrap this up for me, please.
I'm going to get off the phone in a minute.
Right.
But the stealing, who was the stealing benefiting?
Right. She and the next man. That's what it was supposed to benefit. Right.
So that's the worst of it.
Right. Right.
That's the worst of it for dude.
Right.
And you know, man, period, can't take no bun, much less you're bunning him money. I'm just saying, rest in peace to the young lady. But a lot of these women want to come up on people's thing, like the one in Jamaica, and I think you did a thing on it. The girl that the superintendent and the head of police, retired man that had the restaurant with his wife.
Yes, and him went
and he put this girl through school,
right,
and him have apartment, and buy a BMW, and she had the nerves to come to the restaurant with next man, cause sit down and eat.
Yep. Yep.
The man losing mind right then and there.
And him,
women have to learn too. Man no put in a hand per woman. Woman no put in a hand per man. And leave them things alone.
Said same way.
On that note, have a good day.
All right, blessed. You too.
Mm.
All right, listen. The story she just referred to was a big example, man. There was an older man, well-established man in Jamaica, and you know him have him wife, and him wife is very loyal. They have restaurants and stuff like that. A restaurant business that is very well established. Not give out no name, location, or nothing. Him have a young girl. Young girl wants to go to school. He pays her way through school, put her in a X5 BMW. You drive X5 BMW SUV in Jamaica, you must have links, or your money must tall or something. Well, when she was done with school getting all she wanted to get, she said, "You're too old for me. I mean, I want you." The man, nah, let up. Him say me put too much in you. She does do nothing but take her young man, that is her age group man, and went to the man restaurant and sat there and ordered food. And the man come out and in front of him wife, murder she right there, so right. So these you don't know what will chip a man like that, and some of the things and some of the levels that people took it to. Now, yes, Andre said that it's not about, and it was never about a man, and I believe that it was never about the man, because if I did about the man alone, it would have good. Here is why. In those phone conversations, he said to her, "I'm supposed to trust you after what you did last year what you did last year has changed our marriage forever. And then he started talking about the LLC, which was something separate. And it was about that. What you did last year when you went to Jamaica, what you did last year changed our marriage forever. And she said, I don't want to hear about it no more. You either move on or, right? And I'm like, damn. And he said something about moving on doesn't mean like I just get up and forget, or don't pay no attention to it or whatever. That is along the same time when he said, you know what, I see I'm gonna have to start taking care of myself or put my best interest, because you definitely don't have it. You don't have me as my best interest at heart. See? Sandra Quayle, I normally share the link right before it starts. I don't have the name of the channel, but I can look it up and tell you. But I normally share the link right before it starts, and I'm in there as well. Yeah. So think about the level of deception here, right? The level of deception here. Your woman, your wife, has rekindled her flame with her all fire stick, her first love. Her sister got on the stand, and when the lawyer asked her, so who is, and said his name, are you aware of him and stuff? She goes, yeah. Who is he? To Andreen. And she said, that's Andreen's first love. So she rekindled the relationship with her first love. I've gathered all this week. She's planning a getaway. I hear a woman say, well, him could leave, and she did talk about divorce. She was moving on. How you moving on? If you're married and you're still in the same house with your husband and you're still telling him, get over stuff and let's move forward, that's not moving on. You're playing with fire. Moving on is leave the residence, file the paperwork, stick to it. This is where it ends. Start to divide the assets. That's moving on. Moving on isn't keeping a man secret pan the side and you are plan one whole life. And I take everything when me work hard for and I stash it over there so for you and him when on starting a new life. You gotta understand, man. You gotta understand. So that's what we learned from all that. All right. And like I said, let me end this segment and move on to the popcorn thing by saying this. Life without the possibility of parole for Andre McDonald is off the table. At sentencing, if you hear life without the possibility of parole, then you can come back and say, SouFlo, see that? Them give life without parole. And you were wrong. And I will eat that. And I will say, yeah, hey, I'm not right all the time. But I'm telling you right now, based on what has been said from Monday till yesterday, life without the possibility of parole is off the table. The death penalty been off the table. The minute they cracked them phones open and the minute they started gathering that information about that extramarital affair and her moving assets, and he confronted her about it, and that's what started that fight. Death penalty gone, off my table. The law looked at that as he was provoked. I saw somebody in the comment section say, well, so what's his defense going to be? She made me do it? Yeah, but they don't have to say she made me do it because it sounds corny. They're going to prove another way how she made you do it. His wife hated him so much she was praying that he had an affair so she could find out about it and catch him in a one, so she could have a solid reason to end everything and tell him what she was doing all along. But you stayed. You stayed. You stayed with all these divisive plans. You stayed. That too, Patsy Barrett, his record was squeaky clean. I don't think them have this man on a traffic ticket. And he is a high-ranking military official. He is serving. Nicole Coleman says, why did he file for divorce before? Probably because of the same thing. Probably because him couldn't take it no more. Who knows? But he filed for divorce before. And then he went and ended that. Stopped it. Thank you for bringing that up because, again, the triggered women in the comment section are like, well, she filed for a divorce before and he stopped her. No, he filed for a divorce before. The caller that just called said something very important, right? You see, when people are use you sometime and them have an end goal in mind, you have an expiration date in that relationship that you don't even know about. I'm going to get me a military man. They have good credit. You know why? The military does not permit you to have bad credit. You have to clean that shit up fast. Or you could get put out. They have good credit. They have all kinds of incentives that come with them, like business loans, house loans, which are separate, education advancement, which is separate. So you can start a business, go own a home, further your education, benefits in real time. And that those same benefits are extended to a spouse. Life insurance policies and links with the best credit unions, right? And Henry? Travel. Mervyn the Point, Jamaica Kerr. Travel. I told you all about being in Germany. And for $40, we hopping all over Europe. On a Mac flight, it's called. Yes, all those are extended to your spouse. So the narrative now switches. Who was really getting used? Because see, man, I gotta say it because I said the same thing in the beginning. I was like, yo, I use him, did I use the girl? Because, you know, she comes from a good family. She's highly educated. She's a go-getter, self-driven person kind of thing. She wakes up early in the morning, sets her schedule, exercises, runs her businesses, this and that. What the hell him I do? Until all that came out in court. And I was like, oh, interesting. And then more, oh, I saw she talk to him. Ross, all right, so let me hear him, how him respond now. Because I'm sure my shell long rotted when the text message said the man said, I'm not gonna talk to you in any derogatory way that belittles you. After she just talked to him in a derogatory, belittling way, his response was that. I said, oh. Now she did tell her bestie that they often argued at home and he often got physical with her. Did you see any scars on her ever? Any bruises, anything like that? No, and she wore minimal makeup and all that other stuff. So, I don't know. But I can tell you that death penalty off the table. So, not for what did I say? The death penalty, him forget. Me not say that again. After hearing through all of this so far, I'm not saying that again. I know her family might be saying, you see all you, because I'm sure that's what they would want. But I want them to be honest. Be honest with yourself. If somebody did you like that, like did these things to you, right? Just the mere fact about the rekindling with the old flame and the moving of the assets into an account that she was setting up. This was the fourth one. They actually had 3 locations, businesses up and running. Opening a fourth one, she was secretly opening one. She LLC'd it. And in that same text message, he was like, I'm not going to allow you to get that building to open that LLC. And she was like, I don't know what you're going on about. You could have just take the paperwork, go down to the bank, put your name on it. You never asked me to come put my name on your car, but me own that. I certainly own that. Very belittling. So there you have it. Now, today, I'll be on the road, but I will keep it running and I will try to get as much out of it as I can, or I will spend the weekend rewatching it and I will come back to you with that. Pan that. Wanna be able to self out there. Oh, what tangled web we weave. When you think you're winning, but you're losing big time. It happens all the time. Now let's talk about Popcaan for a minute. There's some other information here I wanted to give to you before we go on to the Popcaan thing. Like just an update, which is not a good update. You know, I've seen our leaders come out in Jamaica and say murder is down 45%. I said, damn, that's a lot. Things off to a good start. Well, numbers dropped yesterday. 61 murders recorded so far. Today is the 27th day. When the days run, when the number of murders run left the days them. 61 murders have been recorded in Jamaica so far. So nothing ain't changed. All these new laws and this, you're going to prison for 15 years if we catch you with that and this, a gun, kill them people there. 61 since January 1st. We could beat that horse to death. What are y'all doing? What do I do? Because Jamaica nice and beautiful. Can't we all just enjoy it? But I know what's going on underneath all that. So I stay out of gunman things, stay out of bad man things. I put the message out there. I tell the youth them and I tell people, say, if you choose that route, my hat's off to you, my friend. Run road, but accept the consequences that come with your actions. For all the innocent victims, though, like the brother that traveled to Jamaica from the UK, a gun kill him. His brother, you shoot him up. His brother has now been charged. His brother and his cousin was in custody, which I did a follow-up on. This is a next follow-up. You can go watch that video. I'm not going to get into it. I'm just putting the numbers out there. What were they? Jah Cure update. Real quick. Jah Cure has a new album out. It was announced by VP Records. The album is called Undeniable. It's an 11-song project that is filled with romance, passion, heartfelt lyrics, cutting-edge sound. I believe Stonebwoy from Africa is on it, and there are some bangers on there. Jah Cure had also released a message recently to his fans that, you know, he's sorry for this situation that he's gotten himself into. Basically, that's all he said, really. Sorry for this situation I've gotten myself into. Now, me I go get the Jah Cure album here. I'm gonna get this Jah Cure album. I'm gonna get it because Jah Cure is a good artist. I'm gonna get it because I just love his music. See? And it might be a collector's piece one day, who knows? But anyways, Jah Cure went back to court again in the Netherlands for the Jah Cure fans out there. Longing for what? My baby to love me more. What am I longing for? John No Star. So Jamaican reggae singer Jah Cure will continue serving his 6-year sentence for attempted manslaughter in the Netherlands. A Dutch judge ruled earlier this week. dancehallmag.com. I've taken information from dancehallmag.com quite a few times before. One of those instances, the information worked out to not be so. And I told my audience that it was not so. And I swore I was never going to take any more information from dancehallmag.com. But all their information has always been verified to be true. So anyway, he went back to court and the judge said he must continue to serve his 6 years. The judge decided to keep Jah Cure in detention, and the next pro forma date is set for the 18th of April is when they will go back to court again. Tusha Essed, press officer at the Public Prosecution Office to the Courts of Appeal gave this information. The longing for singer appeared in the courts for a pro forma hearing on January 24th. Today is the 27th. Now, according to Dutch law, inmates have to attend a pro forma hearing while awaiting a court date for the actual trial. Therefore, a judge has to decide about the incarceration, whether to keep them incarcerated while they go through this trial or to let them out and let them fight it from outside. 90 days. Every 90 days, they have to do that. In Jah Cure's case, you know he was already sentenced before to these 6 years and he's doing his time. But for those of you who don't know, in the Netherlands, their law provides for the prosecution to go back into the court system and take it to their Supreme Court and say, yeah, this judge messed up this case. We could have got way more years on this person because he was convicted of manslaughter when we clearly showed the judge premeditated attempted murder. So they're trying hard to get him another trial where he will be tried on premeditated attempted murder instead of the manslaughter that he got, or attempted manslaughter charge that he got. So that's why Jah Cure keeps going back to court again and again. So when this is all said and done and blown over, Cure can either end up serving more time, because more time would be added if he is found guilty of premeditated attempted murder, or it will go nowhere and he will continue to serve his 6 years until it's done. Our year we're in now, 2023. So I'm locked up from 22. So 22, 23, so not whole of 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. So somewhere in a 2027, 2028, maybe somewhere in 2028, we'll see Jah Cure walk out of a prison in the Netherlands. Cure again, come to give you more again. Man, Jah Cure bad narrative, what I talk about. One of the best to ever do it, my friend. Bad. His emotions that he puts into his lyrics and all that. And I praise I come to praise him this morning still. I'm just giving him his credit still, regardless of what. Separate the music from the man, in music bad. You understand? He's one of the best that ever did it. So wish him all the best same way. And like I continue to say, me not kick my brother when he's down. Because some people will handle stuff different from others. The other people, them with a man they rob up before, them could have take it. Jah Cure was just one of them that couldn't take it. And every day, bucket go well, it gonna be okay. One day, like Granny said, the bottom gonna drop out. That day there, that promoter there, fee him bucket bottom drop out. Can get stabbed up by Jah Cure. We're gonna left the Jah Cure one right there, so. Alright. So we went over the Andre case, the murder thing, Jah Cure update. This nurse has gone viral. I don't want to spend more than 5 minutes on this because I want to get into the Popcaan thing. This nurse has gone viral, right, for her scrubs and what her scrubs look like. And I thought I would pass by the audience and just get your opinion on this. So this is your nurse, and our scrubs look like this when she come work. What you say? Is this appropriate? Is this okay? The actual nurse, now I've worked in this field, right? I've worked in this field where they wear scrubs. We wear scrubs. And I've seen, is this appropriate? Yes, no, maybe, me not care. This is what me say happen when them wear them scrubs. So this. They bend over to get something at work. They bend over to get something at work. And mind you, you're working with guys, right? And this is what happens. All the time. This is me at work right here. This is what I see all the time. Now, I can't say nothing because I don't want nobody can tell me about You can't tell a woman how to dress and all that other stuff. So I just act like I didn't see nothing. But then I see the same person do it again Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday and Friday. And then this is just a part of her and how she is at work. And if we have clients in the therapy gym, I would probably say, hey, like pull your top down or your thong's showing. You know, we pass by and say stuff like, I see you wearing green today. And that's all you have to say. I see you wearing green today, or I see you wearing pink today. I mean, oh my God, oh, thank you. And you know them man, them come and work for look. That's always been my opinion, right? But a lady said to me, she said, SouFlo, everybody's body is not the same. See, everybody's body is not the same. Now here's a lady with the same. Everybody's body is not the same. So how do you fit all that wobble, that bubble, the bad donkey that's in a scrubs? That's what a lady said to me. She said everybody's body is not the same, and some of these women commenting on other women's stuff, they're just jealous. How you fit all this into scrubs? No matter what she wears, that's what it's gonna look like. Because the other women put on their scrubs and their ass is flat and you can't see nothing. But can she help it? Where you putting all that? I said, there's big clothes out there. They have big scrubs out there. Maybe you need to wear some scrubs that's actually for geriatric patients or bariatric patients. Sorry, not geriatric. Geriatric is elderly population. Bariatric is obese, wildly overweight, like 500-pound man coming in. You know, it's a bariatric patient. You have to get the bariatric bed and all that. Maybe you need to put on one of them kind of scrubs there. But if you going, this is my opinion as somebody who has worked in this field. If you're going to work as a medical professional and your scrubs are fitting that tight, that ain't professional. You could do better than that. You could do better than that. There are women out there who have the same body way you have, and none of us know. None of us know. When you see her on South Beach for Memorial Day weekend and she show up at best of the best in some jeans or some cut off jeans or some short shorts, and the first time you have to say, blood fire. No man. Nurse Jones, me never know. Me did just think say Nurse Jones the big and fat. Me never know say she did well put together. Because of some big scrubs she wear come to work and you can't tell. So for all the women who are gonna say, nah, everybody's body is different and my ass is big and it's gonna show in whatever I wear. No, man, you go work, go look. And I could tell you stories about being at work and seeing them married nurse that hook up with the CNA boy, them I'll drag them down in a closet and then husband show up bringing lunch and all. It's a movie. It's a movie in these health fields. It's a movie. But y'all know what y'all true intentions are. I want to know who know I put that on for. So my brother, when your wife left the house, you see, and she left the house looking like that, and she said, I saw her scrubs fit, just know, say, work husband will appreciate her today. Because it wasn't for you, it was for him. All right? With that said, moving right along, let's talk about Popcaan now. So, Popcaan is wondering why they won't let me into the US. The man said he wants to come and see the US. See, BBL era, that's how it was when the big era. So they're looking at man or doctor, general hospital for real. Absolutely. Them a look a man. They're looking at healthcare professional like themselves, preferably the doctor, but them will settle for all a CNA. It's a big difference in between, but they'll settle for anybody at work that can give them some love and affection or some affection injection. I don't know about love. Anyhow, Popcaan is wondering, family, I miss a family. Yeah, Popcaan is wondering, I can't simply be just attention seek. It can't simply be just attention seeking. No, attention seeking from who? Kaita Joy. Attention seeking from who? Is attention seeking from the man at work? Anyhow, Popcaan has become a giant. We can't deny that. Popcaan is wondering, he just dropped his new album. He is wondering what the US have against him. Why he can't enter the US. So let me read it how me write it. Popcaan has become a giant in music. He has worked with some of the biggest names in music, to include A-list celebrities like Drake, like Burna Boy. Burna Boy has came to the US and made millions of dollars on his visit here and sold out big arena. And these are people that Popcaan have worked closely with and are now closely associated with. That's just two of the many. All the people that Popcaan has worked with, all the people that Popcaan has worked with has been able to frequent the USA, greet their fans, do big sold out shows, make lots of American dollars, and see the USA. Great is He is the name of the album. His album is out now. Great is He. You can go look on YouTube. You can go check it up there. You can look at all the other places that distribute music, Amazon Music and all these other stuff. And if you are a fan, then you support by purchasing the album. If you are not, then just listen to the music. You'll find out that this album is a huge album. It's clean, international, hits written all over it. Even Ebro journeyed to Jamaica to do an interview specifically with Popcaan. But he is not allowed into the USA. He is signed to Drake and he's not allowed into the USA. Why? Why do you think? Because I have a theory that's a page and a half long that I'm going to give to you. Why do you think? Annette Henry says the crowds that he will promote. Every video, the weed smoking. I don't think that is it. I don't think that is it. Because all his associates are able to fly and them do the same thing. I don't think that is it. Remember the other day when he talked about Interpol? Actually, he said, why is the Jamaican government telling certain countries to stop and search me when I'm passing through there? And then the Jamaican government issued a statement that was printed in the news, says, we didn't tell anybody anything about you. It was Interpol. Interpol was the one that issued that warning. Stop him and search him. Why would Interpol issue that warning? All right, listen to this. Listen keenly. I've done this before. Vibes Cartel Association is what it is. You see, a while back I did a video and it's still up there. I'm going to drag it back. A while back I did a video and the video had immigration officials from the US and Jamaica and music heads, the bigger heads within the music fraternity, on the business side of things. And one of them came out and gave us the information on a public forum. He said I was in the meeting and the conversation came up, and I can tell you that nobody who is closely associated to Vybz Kartel will be getting a visa to enter the United States of America anytime soon. I said, wow, that was interesting. So, Vybz Kartel Association, there was also a time when, remember Peter Bunting? You asked why Annette Henry? So, there was a time gone by, it is said that Peter Bunting actually took Vybz Kartel's picture to a meeting in the US with officials and said, here is he. This is the guy that's wreaking havoc, that's causing all our problems, that's endorsing scamming and calling it reparations and spiking our murder rate. This is him with Vybz Kartel picture. They said after that, they went down the line and found every artist that was closely associated with Vybz Kartel and ticked them as marked, can't come in. Popcaan, my friend, was known as the prefect, Kartel's top student. But it's been a decade since Vybz Kartel has been in prison. A decade since Kartel been in prison. So are they still holding this against him? That meeting, I believe, I think it was done at Embassy or somewhere, someplace where all the big ups meet up. I believe that that meeting has a lot to do with it. Now, if you look at people like Squash, Squash is closely associated with Vybz Kartel, but that never come out till later. It never come out till after I'm getting papers. But Squash there. You understand? Now, when I saw Squash travel to the US and then look like him live here now, I don't know how that was done. I was wondering, well, damn, if Squash can there, what Popcaan do so bad, why him still can't come through? Gaza Slim. Gaza Slim have to almost disassociate herself. You don't see her walking around talking about free Vybz Kartel and all these other things. But she came. Basically, them tell Gaza Slim, them hold a gun and say, hey girl, run and don't look back. You see how you look back? Why are you? And she run. And she ran. And she ran. Basically, Gaza Slim case. Go look this up for yourself. Gaza Slim case is like a noose hanging over her head. They can drop it around her neck and pull her up anytime. So she stay far and wide from this. See? Lisa Hyper, another one of Cartel students and close associate. From Empire days to the Gaza days, Gaza Empire. But she fly frequently into the US. Somebody said Busy Signal got lucky. You remember when Busy was on the run? And Busy would go everywhere except for back to the US? And then them come get Busy at Jamaica and them extradite him to the US and then them deport him back to Jamaica, or he self-deported as it was called, and then in paperwork work back out and him fly back into the US. So me I say, why Popcaan can't get a chance? I'll tell you this. If Popcaan ever makes it into the US, there's a whole lot of money here for him to make. And it's not me said so. Shaggy said it. Busy self-deported, right? King Biggs. Buju Banton self-deported too. Yeah. And I think that one day Buju will be back in the US as well. Um, you have Vibes Cartel's youth them now that are doing really good in music. They're artists of their own right, with music and stuff of their own, right? UTG, Uptown Gaza. Me notice that them never fly into the US. They've been to all kinds of other places. So may I wonder if even they are hit with that. Oh, that's his kids. No. Have they applied for papers to come into the US? If they have, will they get papers to come into the US? Bounty Killer. Bounty is known as Vibes Cartel's musical father. Scratch that. Bounty is known as the general, the real 5-star. Not forget the stars. Him are the general. Bounty I know can't get back film visa yet neither. Now make no mistake about it. I'm not saying that these people care and they're begging and they want it. I'm just saying others have lost theirs and gotten it back. Others have lost theirs for some serious things and still got it back. Beanie Man, it just came out, will be in the US sometime coming up sometime soon. Anyhow, him there, me I go see it. And anyhow he's here, shout out to who Jabba and your crew, best of the best organizing crew. And I better put Beanie on that. Because Missy Beanie Man closed best of the best of Miami already, you see? And it was a hell of a show. So I would definitely be there again this year to see him. But side note, Beanie, I think, has gotten back his as well. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure I read that he did. And there are promoters here that are already promoting events that he should be at. So it's looking like that's what it is. Unless the promoter them, you know. But this will be Beanie Man's first time in what, 5 years or so? Because him did get fee him Tekweto and them get back and he came back for a while and then them take it away again. And they asked Beanie, remember when they did the versus battle? They asked them why. And Beanie said, I don't know. But you know, me want go back a far into me want go shut down thing that the big something city hall something want to lock down the place again and stepping at the place again and these things. But though I have no clue why they took away my stuff. But that is America. That was Beanie Man's response. That is America and that is their country and they do as they please. If them take it away, them take it away. If them give to you, them give to you. Bounty got banned because of some rainbow people issues. Well, it was said, but you have to remember the hammer. That's all I'm gonna say. Come, I don't want to rehash the man past, cause that's a way in the past. When Mama Ivy drive him go church, I don't want to rehash the past. But domestic violence and a hammer is all I'm gonna say. And then that. And then after that came all the other LGBTQ stuff. But remember, even Sizzla Kalonji, when them say apologize, Sizzla said, okay, me I go in a studio. Rastaman don't apologize to nobody, boy. If you this thing lasted then a gunshot, boy. You remember that? And then Sizzla came out later and next thing we know, Sizzla they're foreign. So I don't think it has to do with that. I don't think it has to do with that. I don't know why. But the gay thing is serious because you could be seen as inciting violence against a set of group of people. Yes, Sizzla still come to the US. Sizzla was just here not too long ago, right? I don't know if them take it away again. Because from the last time I saw Beanie, which was like the 5 years ago when I tell you about and him shell down best of the best, I didn't know same visa was taken away, but I did do a video a couple of months ago, or probably about a year or two ago, where I was like, anybody notice that Beenie Man is not flying into the US? This is how I did that do dancehall stuff regular. I was like, anybody notice that Beenie Man not flying to the US, and it's been a couple of years now? I wonder if them take away US papers. So it was about a month ago now that I found out that they did take it away. Actually, I found out at the versus battle. After that, with the interview and stuff. So that, oh, that's why. Can them take it away. Sizzler getting ready to go to Japan tour. That's gonna be huge. Mr. Sizzler, best of the best one time, you know, man. Oh my god. Oh my god. I didn't even know that that man can jump so high. Full of energy. Tear down the place. But they're being denied. Popcaan we are talking about is being denied entry. And may I try understand why. Maybe they look at Popcaan and they say he's closely associated with gangsters. And we do have gangsters that are Jamaican that reside in the US. And if him come here, he's probably going to be linking up with those gangsters. This could even turn into a whole money laundering situation where they are able to launder their illegal money through him. Could be that. But me I try understand why. Cause me no see Papi do nothing. Him, his record's been clean. Besides some little stuff that make it to the media. Oh, he was over here and so, and Popcaan was arrested and then that. But he has no case where he was convicted of a felony and sentenced to any time, anywhere to serve anything or anything. So, I don't know. Tommy Lee was another one. Couldn't get a blind to come in. A lot of them were all taken away at the same time with Daryl Vaz back then. Right. But all of them get back theirs already, fam. All of them get back theirs already. I think Papi is in Canada right now, so him saying it now is smart. I actually read yesterday on IG where he said, let's start the campaign. Let's start a campaign to get me into the US because no one going to the US. And he wants to come. And if he does forward here, it's going to be a big celebration because he got tons of fans here. Remember, he's linked to Drake closely. We've seen pictures with him, Drake, Rihanna, all these other people. So he's even NBA stars. If you watch the latest video from Drake and Popcaan for 2023, if you look in there, you will see even NBA stars. Like Popcaan transcended what, okay, regular dancehall artists him get a bus. Him gone past that long time. Drake performing over in the UK, surprise guest he brings out on stage with him is Popcaan. You know what I mean? You have OVO Fest in Canada. That's Drake stuff. Then his record label, which Popcaan is a representative of, is the OVO Unruly brand. So I don't know why. He's associated with a man who owns a jumbo jet and flies team around that way. Work buku bucks and is very influential. Every album he put out does platinum and more. That's deep. Every album he puts out does platinum and more. Platinum is a regular thing for him. A lot of artists now, gold. That's a high accomplishment. Struggling to go gold. This man randomly drops projects and go platinum. So, I mean, influence is tall. Influence run the place now, His links, tall. And him still can't get Popcaan into the US. Would I love to see him on a show with Bounty and Sham and Papi? I just see Sham the other day in Miami, with Mr. Vegas and them. Them man, the energy tall. I think those guys need to actually, I don't know how to say it though, like be friends with the younger dancehall crowd, and tutor them or something. Cause yeah, them have some hot song out there, but them not ready. Them not ready. And every time I see them perform live, is like this is the point where I walk out the venue and it's time to go home. Cause me have a long drive. You know, when you start to say, yo, me have work tomorrow, you know, me have a long drive and I miggle somebody performance, you know, they're not ready. I actually had to do that one time to Massacre. And Massacre has Massacre has improved so much since then. But me literally walk out for Massacre perform already. Because I was like, what is this? And I can't take no more of it. I don't know if him did too high or if him did nervous or what. That was a few years ago and he's come a long way now. Really and truly, we have to just give the youth them time for grow. Understand, say, you know, they're trying something and they're trying to see how they, and it's a journey. It's a journey. So big up to all of them. We're not here upon nobody. And we wish all of them the best. They still are brothers and sisters. But I would love to see Popcaan in the US. You should be performing the artist song all week. Huh? Tell Poppy to contact George Scrimarco in Miami. He's one of the biggest immigration lawyers in the States and related to Edward Siaga. He has an office in New Kingston. My friend, listen. Popcaan is signed to Drake. You must understand, say, if anybody out there that can get them in or get Poppy in, they would know who that is. This is deeper than that. This is deeper than that. If me have an artist where I know for a fact I'm making a couple million US if he touched the ground, and that is not enough for letting me in, I'm going to say, okay, I got hundreds of millions of dollars, so I'm going to pay a couple million US to get him in. And that is still not enough. I don't know. I don't know what it is. Or who fi say, call. King Big say like, Joshy, the youth performance skills turn up. Yeah, man, them start out rough, but them smooth out the thing, and we just have to give them space for grow, you know, and not try to kill them as soon as they start. Like, where you come from? You don't sound good. You can't perform. All this other stuff. You don't sound good on radio. Yeah, it's constructive criticism, and our music has always been that. It's not a soft space. You have to build tough to survive in a dancehall or reggae music and to thrive in it. And they're gonna hold you accountable every time. Remember when we used to fling buckle, you know, man? I see Bounty Killer go up on stage, you know. I see buckle rain like when time hail a fall. I thought it was, I was like, what's all them things in the air? Because there were so many of them. And somebody say, a buckle a fling. When they start hit the ground, is when me I hear push, 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 round killer. And I see Bounty Killer quietly take away himself, neatly. He never run. He neatly take away himself. I said, Killer too cool to walk. I would have been bolting out. I would have been bolting out of there. Killer too cool for run. Him just take time and dodge two buckles, so neatly take away himself and then do a slow jog at the end. They would have bolt from beginning. Cartel take away for himself. Cartel say, yo, eh. Well, yeah, that space they will let you know. Cause them shandy buckle and them shandy buckle them used to fly. So our space always been like that. Don't come give me no foolishness for my money. Me pay me good money coming here cause support you. And you come up here singing a third key when I know so the song sound. You're in falsetto and so you sing the song in a bass, the low part there. God there, so find the voice there. Hey boy, find the voice. But that's us. All right. I look forward to seeing Popcaan here one day. I really do think that it has something to do with Vibes Cartel Association, even if he has cut ties and not really closely associated with anymore publicly and all this other stuff. I think they're still holding that over his head. But I also think that they are associating him also with the underworld of Jamaica. You know, when somebody have an image and the image actually look like it's so real, like what the actor name that plays, how could I forget his name, man? He has a commercial in Jamaica right now. In the inner Shutters, Mad Max from Shutters. What his real name is? Somebody help me, quick. Like him. Them man, they one time, them when they take on a role and they body a role and an image. Paul Campbell, the legendary Paul Campbell. How could I forget his name? But when they take on and body an image, right? You actually feel like, say, I wonder if I saw him. He look like he kill people in a real life. I don't know. You know, he give you that kind of vibe, like him always in character kind of something. See it here. And I need to play it too, because it's a message. This is a good way for us to go out this morning. Let's do this.
14 to 15 to 16-year-olds, you still have time to change your future and enjoy your life. No love, no gun for no guy. And not bother hang with a crowd that is always getting into trouble. Think about your family, your father, your mother, your granny. Some of you good and all have son or daughter. It's not worth it, my youth. Choose freedom.
Let me play from beginning again. That was kind of like from the middle. I want to play from the beginning. But then, man,
aspiring gunman, badman, young dance, liquor shockers, the 14, the 15, the 16-year-olds, you still have time to change your future and enjoy your life. No love, no gun for no guy. And not bother hang with a crowd that is always getting into trouble. Think about your family, your father, your mother, your granny. Some of you good and all have son or daughter. It's not worth it, my youth. Choose freedom.
yeah, Sir Paul Campbell. By the way, when I'm doing that video there, I'll me a check to see if me the in no badness and I want to quit. I mean, no, nothing, no. It's his presence. Somebody I said, somebody like, I'll be a check myself. Let me reflect on my life and see if me didn't really in nothing. Cause why? Just the way how anyhow you did watch Shatters, or you watch him and then you watch that right there. So you're like, me no in nothing. I'm not gonna be in nothing after this. So, yo, but I'm just saying, some of them do music, and their character is so gangster then that it is believable that yo, me feel like he really kill people and then go rap about it, you know. Me feel like he really kill people and write song and sing about it, you know. Why they are all murderer. When he's just a musician. You understand? But I decide that we're gonna leave it right here. Manners and respect to everybody tuning in. Big up on yourself. Have a wonderful weekend. Keep your vibration high. Surround yourself with people that love you or people that you love. If you can't tell the difference of who love you versus who don't love you, it's okay to be by yourself. Spend some time by yourself. Get to know you and get to explore and learn and know you. You understand? Self-love, greatest love ever. Because once you love yourself truly, you won't accept certain things in your life and certain things won't come your way and be entertained. You understand? With that said, I'll catch you all again sometime soon. Miami, here I come. Big up on yourself. I'm out. Peace.